Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about some more things that we can do to save our culture, to save our country. And I believe that that's a very important thing, saving our culture and our country. It's going to be unrecognizable in another 20 or 30 years unless we do something, maybe less. The speed at which things are changing is escalating. It's not slowing down. So I think it's time that we take a stand and start doing something, start making some changes. And if you've watched my other episodes, you know that I feel like we can make big changes. And if we come together, it will only take small things from each of us. We only have to make small changes ourselves individually. But if we all do that together and focus on the same things, then those small changes will compound and be large changes throughout society. So here are a few more ways that we can contribute to the saving of our culture and our country. Number one thing is watch these videos on Rumble. If you don't know what Rumble is, it's a video platform a lot like YouTube, but it was created around the idea of free speech and non-censorship. Here on YouTube, a lot of us have to self-censor for our videos not to be completely yanked from the platform. You can bypass that by watching them on Rumble. I watch Rumble. That's actually where I watch a lot. I spend more time on Rumble than I do on YouTube consuming. Now I spend equal time because I post videos to both places. Yeah, support Rumble and other platforms like it. There are alternatives to almost every social media, but the alternative supports free speech and non-censorship. We've all had our comments deleted from YouTube because we said the wrong word, and I have to self-censor. I'm not allowed to talk about the weather and other things that happened in 2020. I'm not even allowed to talk about that here on YouTube. It says it right when you make yourself a channel and start posting, they give you a list of things you're not allowed to talk about. And that's just a couple of them. And Rumble isn't like that. But it's a good app. So if you support free speech and are against censorship, then I highly suggest you go check it out, and other alternatives to the big ones. Alternatives to Facebook, alternatives to Google, alternatives to YouTube, alternatives to Android and iPhone, Apple, all that stuff. I'd start seeking alternatives, especially if you can find ones that are American, made in America, created in America, whatever, or your local country, created in Scandinavia or Germany or wherever you're from. So that kind of stuff, as long as they support free speech and non-censorship, I think we should support them. We need to stop supporting the companies that are against the things that we value, basically. Number two is not so obvious, and a lot of us will think that it's kind of crazy sounding, but run for office. Yeah, you don't just have to vote. You can actually run for office. And why not? I mean, we look at these politicians and stuff and think they're somebody else and they're special or whatever. They're smart, or they're just people just like us. They just had somebody talk them into running for office or whatever, and got paid to run for office and sold out. If you're a patriot, if you believe in the freedom of speech and you believe in a healthy, smart, clean society, then, and I think you should, if you can, if you have the opportunity, if you have the resources, I think you should at least consider it. Run for office, run for local office. There are a lot of local, smaller elections that we could run for. And a lot of us, we can't. We just don't have the time or the financial ability to do so. But maybe you have a sibling or something who has the financial resources to support you, and you have the time, something like that. If maybe 2 or 3 people can get together and do it. I don't know. But we need to at least entertain the idea that we, Gen X, run for office, instead of keep voting for these morons who are destroying our country and destroying the world and destroying our culture. We've sat on the sidelines and just ignored the whole thing and, been seen but not heard our entire lives. It's time for that to end. And I'm right. Y'all know I'm right. Y'all feel it too. So, I'm not saying that everyone should. I'm not telling you specifically to. I'm not suggesting anything except that if you have the resources and the time, you should consider it. You should at least think about it and come up with some really, really good reasons why you shouldn't. Why you should let some progressive left-wing chucklehead take that position instead and continue to flush our country down the toilet. Number 3, we should at least try to eat real food. All that, you look at the labels now, if you do at all, but I'm in the habit of it now. I look at labels and I read the ingredients and stuff, and it's just all chemicals that, 15-syllable crap in there, and almost all of it is banned and illegal in Europe. So all of Europe knows that this shit is bad for you, and they won't put it in their bodies, but we do all the time. And our average life expectancy hasn't increased that much, even though our medical technology has increased by leaps and bounds since we were kids. But our life expectancy hasn't budged, maybe a month or something ridiculous, or maybe even gone down. Why? With all this wonderful new medical technology, life-saving technology, why is it that our life expectancy, why aren't we living into our, average life expectancy in our 80s and 90s now? Probably to do with how we eat, how we exercise. Now, a lot of us get a lot of exercise at work. If you're like me, plenty of exercise at work. So I'm not saying everybody should go to the gym and shit. I'm against that, as a matter of fact, just on principle. All that gym shit, people get gym memberships and then you go over there. No, just take a walk in the woods. Take a walk. Take your dog. Enjoy the scenery. Enjoy the outdoors. But start looking at labels. Start paying attention to what you're putting in your body. Stop supporting these huge corporations that don't have our best interests at heart. McDonald's, Burger King, Del Monte, Tyson, all these damn... If you watch, there's one video about it's like an insider video. Somebody went in and recorded some stuff that happens inside one of these Tyson chicken ranches. I watched it 15, 20 years ago, something like that. If you watch that, you never give Tyson another dime of your money. But anyway, we got to support the companies that have the same values as us. And if they have the same values as us, then they're not putting this shit in our food. It's that simple. A lot of it goes back to that. Support the companies that support America or your home country, whatever you call home, whatever country you call home. Support those companies. And don't support the ones who hate you and want to destroy your country, your civilization, your culture. Don't give them your support. If enough of us come together and do that, I guarantee you, we will change. We will change not only our country, but a Western civilization as a whole. Number 4, back again to buy American, or buy, if you're in Australia, buy Australian. If you're in England, buy English, whatever the case may be. But buy American. And I just a quick note on this, I ran across a thing where if you type into Amazon, if you're a big Amazon shopper, which I'm not, don't really care for it. I like to go to the store and hold the thing in my hand and try it on and make sure it fits real good instead of this whole ordering shit crap. But I know a lot of people like to order from Amazon. So if you type into Amazon search bar, if you search on Amazon products made in America, they'll give you a list. They'll give you a list of American-made products. Now, I don't know what the list will be. I don't know, I can't vouch for every single product and company on there, but that's just a good way to find products that are made in America. And some of them will be on sale and more affordable, whatever. But if you like just looking through the Amazon site, kind of cruising through there looking for stuff, interesting stuff, then that's something. Just type that in there real quick. Products made in America, and they'll give you a list. Now, when you are shopping at, say, Lowe's or wherever, and you see that, big made in America across their product there, you still need to read the fine print. Because a lot of times it'll be, one tiny piece of it is American, and then all the other stuff was sourced from China and it was assembled in Taiwan. Because made in America, they've got these rules for these big corporations, and they can, just like all natural. The same thing with all American or American made. They've just got these guidelines that they have to follow, but then they have to put in there, just like the ingredients on food, they have to put in there, well, it's not really made in America. It's actually made in Taiwan or China. We just kind of did just enough to comply with the made in America standards so that we could put that on our tag. So there's a big difference. So, and I've seen this in Lowe's a lot. I'll take the tool and look at it, made in America, and then I'll read the package, and yeah, actually it was really made in China, but they got, a couple of the screws or something came from America, or maybe they put the handle on in America, something like that. The thing is not American. So watch that. You gotta get in the habit of just taking a couple seconds and reading these labels on our products, whether they're, tools or food or whatever. That's pretty important. And along with that, kind of spinning off of that a little bit, is just do some research on your own. When you're sitting there chilling out after work, drinking a beer or whatever, instead of watching some fishing videos or a bunch of knuckleheads crashing go-karts or something, do a little research. Check into the Federal Reserve. Check into, what constitutes made in America or all natural. So then you don't have to take my word for it. Because knowledge is the most powerful thing we can have in an information war. And if you learn these things yourselves, instead of just, getting on here and listening to some goofball blather about it, you learn these things for yourself, then you're more powerful. And your argument is stronger. Because I see that a lot on the left. They'll just repeat something else somebody else said. Especially about Donald Trump. They'll just repeat something somebody else, and I know it's a lie. I saw the video or whatever when it was streaming live. I watched the dude say the shit, and that's not what he said. So, but they're just repeating stuff. So I don't want y'all to just repeat what I'm saying here or take it as fact. Do your own research. Now, you're welcome to take what I say as factual and truthful, because I really try not to get up here and say something that isn't true, that I believe is not true. I just try to relay facts and truthful ideas, at least. But in some cases, I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. So take that into account. I'm not up here really trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm just putting out ideas and hoping that you think about them, getting people to think. And if I'm right, if I am correct about our culture being attacked, then this idea of us coming together and stopping it together in the next election and between now and then, keeping the pedal to the metal, don't let up, don't think we've won because Trump is in there for 4 years, then that idea, if I'm right about that, then us coming together can save our country. And it might be the only chance we have. It might be the only shot that America has to remain strong and remain not woke, because I don't see anybody else standing up to do it. I don't see baby boomers doing it. Hey, I don't see Gen Z or millennials or anybody else doing it. We all have a common history. We all grew up during the same time. We all know how great it can be and how great it should be, because technology and information and all, it should have just made what we had better. It shouldn't have changed it all for the worse. And we can get back to that. We can get to where it should be. We can take the 1980s and the 1990s and just make it better, instead of just twisting it all apart and destroying it all and flying off in a completely different direction. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to become a member of Gen X Thinks, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Thank you very much. For those of you who do that, I sincerely appreciate it. You can also head over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll leave that link down in the description too. If you're interested in Gen X gear, you can head over to Redbubble and check out what we have over there. T-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. Gen X and Gen X Thinks branded stuff. And I'll put that link down in the description as well. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. And that's very important in this cultural war we're having. We need to get the word out. We need to start sharing our ideas and spreading our culture in the same way that this woke shit is doing. We need to counter that. So please share these videos. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments, or you can head over to the channel page and email us from there. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.